Give me a minute. Okay, let me check on my voice. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. All right. Let me go back to my slides over here. Okay. So if you guys experience any issue with the audio or the sound quality, please do let me know. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. So sorry for the technical issue. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Elki here with you guys today, and we are on our October Traders Talk. Okay, that's generally we're gonna have it on every month, first Monday of the month. Okay, yeah. So from the cover page, you can see that our topic today is surrounds on budget 2026 that gonna be reviewed on this coming Friday. Okay, so for those who have been following us, even before the September rally on the hit of the budgets, in last month's September Traders Talk, we actually has started to share some insights and also our views on some of the potential opportunities and also the counters stocks that could be benefited from this budget 2026. Okay, and today we're gonna go into more focus and try to see more in detail what are the potential ones. Okay, later in today's sections. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is Elki, and I'm your speaker for today. Okay, so for those who have been know me long enough, I have been in this industry since 2012, and I've been going through. I've been touching and doing dealing across futures trading and also stock equities. Okay, yeah. So like I said, today we're gonna focus on budget 2026, but before that we're gonna do review on what we have been talked about about September 2025. Okay, review some of the seasonality plays, some of opportunities and market conditions, ongoing market conditions. Then also we're gonna share a little bit of views, insights on current global landscape, and lastly we're gonna touch on the October seasonality. Is there any opportunity to tap on? And yeah, then we're gonna conclude today's sections from there. All right. Okay. So first, the review of for the month September 2025. Okay. So we can see that if we look into the sector performance and also the index, the blue chips, and also the small cap index, we can see that across the whole all the sectors in Bursa Malaysia, we can see all the sectors they actually ended September in green. Okay, Yeah. So we can see the least one is healthcare. Healthcare is up by 0.5% as well, and construction is also up by 0.5%. But if we look into those strong one, like utilities, actually up more than 5%. There are three up more than 5%, which is utilities, consumer products, and industrial products. And our small cap is also up more than 5%. Okay, so for this year, for the year 2025, the the performance of for all these sectors is actually quite out of norm, because if we look into the seasonality charts into the past more than 20 years, the index average, we can actually see that in the month of September, it is usually the bearish month. Okay, so this year, with anticipations of the interest rate hike by U.S. Federal Reserve, also with a better, more bullish view on the uh, budgets from our government budgets, okay, for the budget next year, okay, we can see that it actually propped up and lifted up the sentiments across all the sentiments, and we had all the sentiment rallying, all the stocks rallying. Okay, so to narrow down into some of the factors, you can see that some of the reason, some of the sectors that have been outperforming compared to other sectors, like utilities and also energies, renewable energies, they were lifted on the notification of the LSS5 Plus auctions. Okay, so with these notifications, with this announcement, they actually driven up a lot of all these utilities player and also our renewable energy player, was something like solar gas, like Sumaidens, and many other more. Okay, and besides that, we also can see that consumer sectors, consumer product sector, they actually also another sectors that have been outshining in the month of September. Okay, whereby the uptrend continued to be supported by government cash assistance. Okay, we can see that the private consumer consumption growth has been growing, and also with the higher deposit income, with the higher minimum wage being implemented, all this has been being reflected and added into the positive factors that have been driving consumer sectors. Consumer stocks have been trading higher with foreign buying. Okay, so also if we look into the month of September, foreign investors has turned into net buyers. Okay, especially after the interest rate cut by Federal Reserve, we are seeing the inflow, the buying from the foreign funds, and that actually helped the sentiment, helped the Bursa stock performance a lot. Okay, so these are some of the reasons that have been contributing and also make this year, the year 2025 September, to be an out of norm one, and to be a very bullish month of September, despite that the seasonality has been always trading lower. Okay, so if we look into some of these sectors that have been performing, okay, like utilities. Okay, if you look into utilities, why we can see that utilities index actually has currently is testing on the key major resistance. Okay, whereby last year in the year 2024, with the data center thematic coming into the play, it has been formed into a very strong rally, and we had a retracement coming in during the first half of 2025. Okay, however, as we are seeing, as we are entering the last quarter of the year, we are seeing the Bursa utilities actually has retest and recover and retest to the resistance, whereby we might see a potential breakout above this resistance. Okay, especially we are still seeing the more catalysts, more allocations on into this utility sector. Okay, so I'm gonna share more with you guys later on when it comes to the budget 2026 topics. Okay, but we are seeing with more allocation, with more catalysts on utilities, this top this resistance right here, it might not hold, and we might see a breakout beyond this level. Okay, yeah. But of course, for short-term traders wise, if we look into the stochastics, we are seeing that stochastics, it has been trading at the overbought region, and there might be a short-term retracement. Okay, but and as of right now, based on the candle wise, we are yet to see any strong reversal signal yet. Okay, so it might continue to trend higher and break out. Okay, so for those who are trading on short term, you might really want to watch out very closely on the candlestick. Look for any reversal signal as the stochastics has been at the overbought regions. Okay, but for those who are trading for swing and holding, midterm holding, then you might want to continue to look for opportunity to go in, and or even to buy in on the breakout of the resistance. Okay. As for industrial products wise, if we are looking into industrial products, we can see that very similarly, the stochastic is also trading into back into overbought regions, and also it is trading into the resistance block right over here for industrial products. Okay, so we can see that this is a very strong rebound, especially it's reversing industrial products index. It is reversing the downtrend. Okay, because previously you can see that the trend has been trending lower, but starting with the sharp rebound from happening from April, we are not seeing any lower low, but a higher low forming right over here when it comes to near to the month of July, and has been ticked off from there. Okay, so if we look into wave wise, then we are seeing industrial products is trading on the wave tree, and it might continue to extend further. Okay, yeah, so this is currently industrial products index is testing on this resistance block. Okay, for short-term traders, we might want to continue to ride on the 20 days moving average and see if it's able to just break through this 20 days moving average and head towards the major resistance at 200 index points. Okay, yeah. So if you are trading along with the trends, you might want to continue to hold on to it as long industrial product index is hold on along with the 20 days moving average. Okay, otherwise for those who are more conservative, you might want to look into you might want to look for reversal signal for reducing your exposure, or even buying back when it retests back to the support level. Okay, yeah. So if we look into consumer index wise, we are seeing consumer index is trading on very similarly, it's also turning the downtrend into a potential uptrend. Okay, so as long consumer index it doesn't break below this 480 levels, this 480 low, which is a very solid support level with triple rejection at 480 index points. Okay, we will be continue to hold a bullish view on consumer index. Okay, and very interesting is we can see that consumer index it formed into a bow shape, and we might see a cup and handle formation forming. Okay, so for those who has been missing out on some of these consumer stocks like 99 Speedmart, like EcoShop, like Spritzos, then you might want to watch out very closely for any potential pullback on the handle parts and rebound from there. Okay, yeah. But overall, we can see that all these three index that we are looking at, we can see technically it is still telling us that there is no sign of strong bearish yet, and it might point for a further upward trending. Okay, then how about the index, the KLCI index, the blue chips index that we are looking at? Okay, so if we look into the FBM KLCI daily charts, we are seeing that for FBM KLCI index, we are seeing bearish divergence forming on the bearish divergence stochastic bearish stochastic divergence. Okay, yeah. So if we look into it, we can see that despite that FPM KLCI continue to trade higher, forming a high low, but we are seeing stochastic is telling us that it has overextended, it is trading at overbought region, and it is forming a lower high, actually telling us that the buying momentum could be weakening, and we might see a further retracement coming in, or a sideways movement. Okay, yeah. So we can as we are approaching near the budget 2026, it's, I would say that with the earlier rally, you can see that the FPM KLCI has rallied from 1516 all the way to 1660. Okay, although the spikes on last Friday, it was due to it could be the error trades on IHH, and it driven it up. Okay, but even if we take the closing 1630, that was almost a 70 points up from the low of September. And if we take it from the low in the June, that is almost about from, it was from 1500s. Okay, so that was already a 9% gains in our FPM KLCI, rebounding from the low, right? Okay, and throughout this period of time, especially from rebounding from the 1520 levels, we are yet to see any significant, any meaningful retracement happening. Okay, so as it's formed into a bearish candle on last Friday, and also with a bearish MACD stochastic divergence, I would say that it's quite normal that if we ask, if this week ahead of the budget, we are seeing some profit taking activities or even some stalling. Okay, because the market has been buying into this budget, and everyone has been preparing to have a quite positive budgets coming in. Okay, yeah. Part of the reason it also could be lifted on the view that there would be more foreign buying, especially on the observation that there could be more rate cut coming in this month from the US this month, and also by the end of December. Okay, yeah. So if we look into small cap wise, FPM small cap wise, we can see that small cap is also testing on the major resistance at 17,000 level. Okay, and unlike FPM KLCI, we are seeing that small cap is quite supported right over here with minor stalling, and the distance between small cap and also the 20 days moving average is still considered quite manageable. Okay, yeah. So we might see a further rally, but it might continue. The upside is quite limited as of what we are seeing right now. Okay, with the stochastic also at the overbought region. Okay, so for those who are trading actively, trading short term, this is the week that you might want to take a sit back and be more patient trading, and or even try to take some profits. Okay, ahead of the budget. Okay, yeah. If we look into commodity wise, we are seeing that the crude palm oil is taking a sit back and also making a retracement, testing on the 200 moving average. Okay, it is holding well at 4,340 levels with a double rejection, and started to trying to rebound back above the rebound back to the above the 20 days moving average. Okay, overall we can see that crude palm oil CPO price is still trading on an uptrend. Okay, with the retracement is mild and also supported at the key moving average area, and also fundamentally we are seeing the production numbers remains, the production cycle is ending, and also the picking up on the demand. Okay, yeah. So from all this, with the support from the fundamental, we might see more positive upside on this FCPO. Okay, yeah. So plantations could be something that has been slipping for a while. amidst the rally in the August and October, and it could be a sector that good to look into it as of right now. Okay, yeah. And as for the oil price, okay, for the Brent crude oil, we are seeing Brent crude oil breaking the major supports of 65, and it could be continuing to trend lower, testing pressuring towards the uh, April low at the $60 mark. Okay, yeah. So the weakening in the oil price, it was mainly driven on the anticipations and speculation of increasing productions by OPEC plus. Okay. However, over the weekend, the production hike, it was actually much smaller than the market anticipated, and Brent crude oil, the crude oil prices has rebounded more than 1% today. Okay. So as long we are still seeing the oil price continue to hover between 65 to 70 levels, then it could be more towards sideways, and we do not see any strong position unless it able to stay above 670 or stay trading and stay below the 65 levels. Okay. Otherwise, the Brent crude oil, it could be more trading on the sideway, like what we are seeing here, until we see a clear breakout. Okay, yeah. So for energy stocks wise, besides of the crude price, the crude oil prices, we might also want to look into the development between the case between Petronas and Petros, and whereby this could be telling us how soon the capex from the Petronas can continue. Okay, and we are seeing more projects coming in. Okay, yeah. Otherwise, energy could be quite stagnant. Okay, and not being too exciting. All right. Okay. So that would be the view on our blue chips index, on our small cap index, on our commodities, the major commodities, crude palm oil, and also the Brent crude oil. Okay, and also some of the winning top performing sectors. Okay, so overall we can see that in short term wise, in this week we might see more towards some retracement, a sideways movement, but overall we are still holding quite a bullish view towards the markets. Okay, yeah. So budget 2026 is definitely something that we really want to dig in, and also we want to pay a lot of attention, because that could shape what are the sectors that could be continue moving. Let it be end of this year or even early next year. Okay, so if we look into budget 2026, in my own personal opinions, after reading it and doing all this research, okay, so the very first that I would say that the potential beneficiary, I will still stick with what I have been saying in the month of September, is one of the major beneficiaries from this budget 2026. It could be semiconductor sector, which we might see some of the allocation, some of the budgets allocated to get aligned with the national with the NSS approach. Okay, yeah. So other than that, we are personally, I'm still positive. I'm still seeing that there are more to go for utilities and renewable energy, where the NETR will continue to keep these two sectors, these two parts of the business and economy going. Okay, and of course, like we said just now, consumer products is also going on the uptrending, and they are likely to be another sectors that gonna be benefited from our budget 2026. Okay, yeah. So last but not least, I'm also looking into particular several oil and gas counter. Okay, which focusing on those that could be benefiting from CCUS. Okay, so if we look into the first ones, the semiconductor sites. Okay, if you read through some of the articles, some of the news that have been talking around, okay, you might actually get the hint that, especially from the hint from our finance minister, okay, from the ministers telling us that semiconductor, okay, the government actually has pledged to give semiconductor a greater emphasis. There will be more attention on this industry under the budget 2026. Okay, yeah, with this national semiconductor strategy, the in this NSS government, actually they have already earmarked 25 billions over the next decades, okay, focusing on to upskill our semiconductor sector. Okay, as we are entering, as we are in the first phase, as we are entering for preparing for the budget 2026, semiconductor is definitely one of the sector that gonna be outshine others, and also gonna receive all these allocations with the focus on countries trying to make us moving on into the high-tech countries. Okay, yeah, so modernizing OSATs and also high-end semiconductor manufacturing are some of those that the government national they will be focusing on, whereby if we look into technical chart in Nari, okay, as the market leader for semiconductors, it is also making a very good technical breakouts above 2 ringgit 20 cents area. Okay, so with the breakout above 2 ringgit 20 cents, it is a major consolidation breakout, a major resistance breakouts, and we, as long it hold above 2 ringgit 20 cents area, we are seeing that in Nari it might form into an uptrend with a immediate targets around 2 ringgit 70 cents level. Okay, so on the energy parts, on the utilities, on the renewable energy parts, okay, we I believe many of you guys have come across the paper, the articles telling us that there could be some energy insufficiency, some, especially on some states, okay, given that we are seeing high demand from data centers. Okay, yeah, so with all this, we might the possibility of having another round of large scale solar program. Okay, we just had LS5, LS5 plus, and right now we are seeing is that is gonna be our SS6 to be covered or even proposed put into budget 2026, and that is quite possible right over here. Okay, so with this, we are also seeing that the a solar rooftop solar scheme for residential users gonna be rolled out in the end of this year. Okay, and that actually is part of the government plan to complement with BESS, the best battery energy storage system, whereby it will help the users to store their power independently rather to tap onto the power grids. Okay, yeah, so with all these things planned and as part of the NETR, that actually will keep the utilities sectors, the solar APCC players busy, and also continue to be one of the top performer in the year 2026. Okay, so if we look into many of all these solar EPCC player, we can see that like SolarVest, like Semidens, many Picard, many of them, they have been trending upward, and they have been really making a very strong rally, making a strong bull run. Okay, but as long the industry is growing, as long the industry is, there are continuous demands needed for the services, for their products. Okay, the trend might continue to go on. Okay, yeah, so what we need to do is we just need to continue to see how fast the sector, the industry is growing, and how strong is the demand, and we really want to get involved with all these uptrending stocks. Okay, and for For my picks for this sector, it will be Northern Solar. Okay, we can see Northern Solar. After the listing early of this year, it has been selling down and found a support at 45 cents. And with the recent recovery, it has broke above the key support of 68.5 cents and continue to trend higher. With the 80 cents price over right here, we are still seeing there are upward space until 90 cents to even 95 cents. It's historical high, and that would give us a potential another 15 to 20% upside for Northern Solar. Okay, so I would say that technically it's on uptrend. They are still upward space for Northerns, and it could be quite worth looking at it. Okay, if you don't like existing solar counters, if you think that they have been trading too high already, okay, don't forget about Verdant Solar. Okay, Verdant Solar IPO that gonna end, that gonna close that they are still available for IPO applications, and it gonna end by tomorrow. Okay, so Verdant Solar is is another one that you might want to consider and also try to put in for subscriptions with a PE of 14 times. Okay, yeah. So the next one, consumer sector. Okay, consumer sector wise, we can see that um, based on what we're seeing from the previous previous budgets under our PM Anwar, the government has been always pledged and trying to it's not only raising the ceiling, it's not only creating just high income, but it's also lifting the bottom. Okay, yeah. So it is very likely that we're gonna continue to see additional fiscal support and also assistance into B40, into channeling all this money, all this savings from all this subsidiary cuts, subsidiary. I don't want to say cut, but it's more towards subsidized rationalizations. All these savings, it could be channeled to those who need it. Okay, and especially with this successful rollout on Budi 95, on this RON 95 petrol subsidized rationalization program that just recently launched, I would say that the launching has been really successful, and we are seeing a lot of good feedbacks. The implementation, it was simple and it was easy, and that could expand into other essentials, probably like cooking oil, probably sugar. Okay, so all this, it might come in and it might enable more assistance programs. Okay, yeah, especially with this successful rollout, it actually open up and actually expand into more possibility that we can see. Okay, but of course the beneficiary from all this, it will be focused on those essential goods, those consumer discretionary, okay, and also some retailers business. Okay, all right. So this if we are looking into consumer, we really want to focus on this part of the consumer products rather than the those high-end ones. All right. Okay, yeah. So out of all this consumer stuffs, I would say that Mr. DIY, it actually technical outlook for Mr. DIY comes in quite handy. We can see that the volume actually recently has been increasing, and it has been rebounding and trying to test the 1.70 ringgit resistance with potential turning into an uptrend. Okay, so if we see the breakout and staying above 1.70 ringgit level, we might see there could be more upside for Mr. DIY. Okay. Last but not least, is on the oil and gas, the energy part. Okay. Yeah. So last year we has been hearing about a potential of carbon tax, and it has been saying and delayed into to the year 2026, and now it comes to the budget 2026. Carbon tax is something that we might continue to we might see it might come in, or it might get another delay again. But if it really comes in, this carbon tax, um, instead of adding into the cost of all this potential industry that could be affected industry like steel, like aluminum, like cement, okay, it actually helping, whereby for all this especially for those that exported businesses, exported steel to Europe, all this, they actually they have to pay carbon tax. Okay, they have to pay carbon tax into all these EU countries, as to do business to meet the decarbonization goals. So if we are implementing carbon tax locally, domestically, that actually retain the carbon tax, retain that part of revenue locally in our Malaysia, and also it would be used to help us to meet our carbon goal. Okay, and that could help the escalations on our CCUS escalations, which is the carbon capture, utilization, and storage, and that parts it could be built into another help our country to meet the carbon goal in globally. All right. Okay, so one of the beneficial, there are a few counters that could be benefited from this CCUS. Mainly, they are like MISC. They could it could be Yinsen, it could be Wesco. Okay, and among all MISC, it could be the leader. But we can see that the chart is actually not that exciting. Okay, it might continue to trade on sideways, but if you're really interested in this part, you might really want to look into any stronger move, or even the price to stay above the moving average line, forming into uptrend before you engage. Okay, but we can see that for MISC recently the selling has been strong, selling down with volume, so you might really want to wait a little bit, or even look for potential bargain hunting around slightly below seven ringgit. Okay, yeah, so that wrap up what I've been looking at it. I've been preparing, I've been seeing that the potential, the opportunities that might arise from this budget on this coming Friday. Okay, yeah, so if you want to know a little bit more about the outlook, or even discussions or some questions from the research perspective, you can always feel free to join us for our market outlook, whereby we will share more on our view of the markets, or even some of the other picks that could be benefited from this coming budget on Friday. Okay, yeah. So if we look into the global landscape wise, okay, we are having FOMC meeting by end of this October, and that is gonna be the second last of the Fed's meeting. Okay, and the last one will be in December. Okay, so if you have been following close enough, you should know that another rate cut in October is actually as high as 95%. So the market is pretty much sure that pretty much pricing that we're gonna have another rate cuts in October, and that's why we are seeing that the dollars has been weakening. We are seeing the gold has been rallying. We are seeing that despite that the data hasn't been really encouraging, but we are still seeing US indexes, all this have been trading higher. Okay, on the local part, we are also seeing that returning of the foreign fund buying, and also the strengthening in the ringgit. Okay, yeah, so these are the changes that have been implementing and also being seen on the global landscape. Okay, so for those who are trading on all these directions, you might really want to continue to cut down or continue to be conservative on export counters, especially Malaysia. We have a lot of export export oriented stocks, okay, especially those that are exporting to US, okay. Dollars is likely continue to stay weak, okay, especially if any with the with the US government shutdown, with the economy that continue to show some weak figures, okay, that might even increase higher rate cuts, or even speculation on more rate cuts to be seen this year or even early next year. Okay, yeah. So other than that, ringgit beneficiaries, like what I have been discussed on in August monthly traders stocks, or even July monthly traders stocks, I have been highlighted some of the counters that likely could be benefited from a stronger ringgit. It's good to continue to hold on to some of those counters, and yeah, that would be some of the good strategies to continue to ride on it. Okay, and for those who are trading on commodities or on gold ETF, the safe haven demands for gold continue to high. We can see that today gold has the gold futures has broke above 3,900 levels, and it still continue to trade higher. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, the jewelers like Tome, like Pokong, the impact was not as aggressive as what we are seeing on the gold price. Okay, so for those who really want to ride on this, you might want to focus on gold ETF or even Almas. All right, okay, yep. So that's pretty much we are coming near to the end of our section today. Okay, so as usual, I'm gonna cover the end the very last part of our monthly traders talk with the seasonality. Okay, review on the seasonality. If we look into the October seasonality, based on past records, the October actually points to be a good month. Okay, a bullish month, especially after a weak month in September, statistically. Okay, so that's why we have quite some selling in the September, August, September, and then October is actually the rebound months. Okay, with transportation, healthcare, and also plantations to be those that top performers. Okay, so what to do right now, since we are seeing September to be the month that has been really strong this year. Okay, so should we still continue to be bullish on the month of October, or we want to be ready that for this year the October behavior it could be different? Okay, yeah. So for those who want to trade on seasonality, those who want to be safe a bit, okay, you might want to avoid you might don't want to be too overly aggressive on some of the sectors that has been really rally a lot in the month of September. For example, like utilities, that usually in the month of October the performance is quite flat, or the consumer is only up 0.6% based on historical data. Okay, but if we look into healthcare, if we look into plantations, they hasn't been up too much, especially I would say plantation, because if we look into FCPO heat map, we can see that out of all the months throughout the year, October is usually the month that has most green. Okay, October, November, December, the last quarter of the year is actually usually being positive for the CPO prices. Okay, yeah. So I would say that plantations is with the recent stalling in the plantation stocks, with the price hasn't been catching up too much. Okay, plantation stocks is a good sectors that to look into it for a midterm seasonality play. All right. Okay. Yep. So that marks the end of our section today. And like I said, if you want to know a little bit more on our the outlook on the insights that we are having, okay, do feel free to join us tomorrow for our fourth quarter economic and market outlook. Okay, on same place right over here at our YouTube, or you can join the link that we share on our Facebook. Okay, at 5:30 p.m. Okay, our Berger research analyst, head of research, and his analyst will be the one who running it, and they will share their insights and also some of the stock picks that's good to look into for the last quarter of the year. Okay, and also for on the third week of October, right after the budget 2026, we gonna have our head of research and also our guest speaker from Macquarie Warrens to be with us to talk about to share the insights and also talk about the budget 2026, on the post budget 2026. Okay, yeah. So do feel free to join us to get even more insights and after the budgets to see where are the opportunities and how you should be positioning for the year of 2026. Okay, so last but not least, I would like to wish everyone right over here, especially the Chinese, happy Mid Autumn Festival. Today is the Zhongcao. Okay, so I wish everyone have able to enjoy this warm festival with his loved one, with his family. And Budget Securities we want to wish you happy Mid Autumn Festival. Okay, yeah. So if you have any questions, you can always feel free to put under the comment, the column, the chats. Okay, or if we have ended the section, if you just replay it, you can always feel free to scan the QR code to approach us or even WhatsApp us at the number written right over here. All right. Okay. So I hope that this section will shed some light and also help you to have a better idea of how you should be positioning for the month of October. And I wish everyone a good luck and happy Zhongcao. All right. Thank you very much and have a good week ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.